Hey, this is a long overdue update on how my weight loss has been going. Um, it has not been going well at all. After the first week, when I did really well, I just completely fell off the wagon. Um, I'm not entirely sure why. I'm sort of in the process of trying to figure that out. Um, I think that what maybe happened is that after the first week, I started getting really sort of rigid about how many calories I was going to let myself eat. The first week, I specifically didn't do that. I said that I was going to try to eat 1,200 calories a day, and I did actually keep my calorie intake to about that most days. Um, but I wasn't really like mentally, I wasn't really feeling like I have to keep my calories to 1,200. Like, it was more like I'm going to try my best. So then the following week, last week, after that week, and I did so well, although most of that was water weight, because when I weighed myself last week, after that, it was like I'd really only lost like a pound, but okay. And maybe that was part of where the frustration came from that led into my really bad eating last week. I don't know. I think, though, that maybe there is something for me to this whole rigidity thing around calories. Where last week I started getting, okay, so now it's time to really buckle down, okay, 1,200 calories a day, that's your max, you gotta stay under that. And like even on the first day, it was completely out the window. Like it just every day I overate, and I wasn't even keeping track of anything that I was eating. I was just eating, and I started getting into one of my sort of binging mentalities where I was just eating everything I could think of because I knew that, oh, well, come Monday, I'm gonna have to get back on track, and so I might as well eat this now while I can. So I had like lots of crappy food that I wouldn't normally eat. Um, Whatever. So come Monday, did I get back on track? No. I just kept eating everything in sight. So I don't even know what the scale is gonna say. I did weigh myself earlier in the week, and it was like 263 or something, or 261. I guess it was 261 and a half pounds or something, which basically is like right where I started 3 weeks ago. I'm really angry with myself, but I'm really trying to turn that into something more like understanding and compassion for myself and curiosity about what went wrong, where I went wrong from the first week to the last couple weeks. And granted, this week's not quite over, but I've just been eating like crazy. So, um, part of the reason I'm making this video is for myself, so that I am kind of speaking aloud my decision, my determination to do this, to really be accountable, to not slip into this kind of nebulous like space where I'm just disconnected from what I'm doing, and I'm disconnected from my body, and when I am feeling connected to my body, I hate my body, and this doesn't feel good, and the way I'm eating is creating the way that I'm feeling about myself, but I think also it's a reciprocal thing where the way that I'm feeling about myself is the reason why I'm eating the way I am, or that I'm continuing to. So I am just I'm trying to be gentle on myself, and it's very hard for me to do that. I tend to be really hard on myself. I don't know. I'm just I need to I need to find my determination again, um, rather than my sense of being out of control. And right now I'm just feeling really out of control, and I want to say I'm determined, but I'm not really feeling it, and I don't know why, because I want this. I really do want this. I want to be healthy, and I just, one of the things that I'm trying to remind myself is that instead of looking at the things that I do with food and the way that it hurts my body as something that I'm doing to myself that's bad, I'm trying to remember that ultimately these are like strategies that I developed when I was young as a way of caring for myself, even though the way of caring for myself is maladaptive, like I'm actually hurting myself. That's not my intention. This stuff all comes from an attempt at nurturing myself. Like deep down, trying to feed myself, trying to, taking in an excess of food nourishment is a way of trying to nourish myself at an emotional level. Like it's a screwed up way, but it's me trying to love myself. It's just I'm doing it in the wrong way, and I've learned to cope with emotional stress and things with food, and to make up for the emotional nourishment I'm looking for from other people, or from myself, make up for that by eating food and nourishing myself with food, even though it obviously is, counterproductive and hurting me. So I need to learn to really love the part of myself that is doing that, that has that tendency, even though it obviously hurts me. It's like I need to love it because it really is a part of myself that really cares about myself. It's not a part of myself that hates myself. I don't know, but I think that's something that's important for me to kind of remember more often than I do. So, um, there's a class that I take at my university that's sort of off the beaten path in general. It's not a class that's for my major. It is a religious studies course on body, mind, and spirit, and the professor, who I think a lot of people think is just really weird. I really love her to death because I really think that she knows what she's doing. That's a complicated, long story about sort of what things she's teaching and what she's doing. In any case, she had us sort of recite this little mantra that I think maybe is something that I need to really just try as like an affirmation each day, which is that my whole being is healthy, vibrant, and whole. And just to keep saying that to myself, because I think maybe that will help kind of unite the fractured parts of myself, help me learn to unite those fractured parts of myself, which are at root probably the reasons why I'm eating. So anyway, sorry, this is getting kind of long and I'm just really kind of rambling. So I will try to make another update in a few days. Hopefully I'll have much better news then. Hopefully I will have gotten back on track. My goal is to get back on track right now, not to wait until Monday like I tend to do in my sort of weird OCD, like it needs to be at the beginning of a week, and I don't know. So that's it.